Look at this, everyone. We've come and joined Brent where he had those alarm calls, and we found a leopard on top of the termite mound. Oh, this is amazing. I'm not too sure who it is. I'm going to try have a look with my binoculars. Can't really see the head just yet from this angle. Right on top of the termite mound. Now we are probably about 40, maybe 50 meters away. 37 meters away. Oh, there we go. Thank goodness for the camera, Andre. I was at 40 meters, at least I guessed kind of right. This is so exciting. What a great afternoon. I'm just keeping my voice down because I don't want to startle this leopard. I do think that this might be one of Karula's youngsters. It's lying on top of the termite mound. It's fantastic. Now, I think that perhaps it doesn't know that we've seen it, and maybe that's why it hasn't moved. I'm sure it knows that we are here because it can probably hear us. Not sure if it could smell us yet, but leopards are incredibly alert and aware of what's going around them. And I can't tell you how exciting this is, because firstly, you know how elusive leopards are, now to walk and track and find one on foot, and for you to be able to see it is incredible. It really is fantastic, and I'm very, very excited about this. What a great start to an afternoon. I'm just trying to have a look if it is moving. And then what we'll do is we'll try and get Brent into the sighting so you can have a better look. I'm just changing my position slightly here. Now, if we come this side, I think through the tree, we might even have a... There we go. There's a lovely little gap through here, Andre. Now Brent has seen us. He's going to move in. He'll be able to get you a bit closer to this leopard and show it to you. Isn't that wonderful? It does indeed look like perhaps one of Karula's youngsters. I'm not sure if they're both there. It's actually Karula, yeah. There we go, it's actually Karula, or what it looks like her. You can just see that face now, a little bit clearer. Older female. She's such a relaxed leopard. She's obviously used to being tracked. But again, we're not moving any closer. As soon as we saw her, we stopped. Now, I'm going to walk out of here. Why don't you jump on with Brent, who's right next to us, and he'll get you a bit closer.
Look, it's the back of Byron and Chandre. Well done, chaps. Thank you. We'll hog all the glory now that you've done the hard work. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Good luck. Now go find the cubs next, please. Isn't this exciting? As he said to Bushwalk, they're coming to give us a hand, and a hand they have. Now, interestingly enough, if we have a quick look behind the pole, oh, let's go forward a little bit. There should be some Inyala. There they are. So I wonder if Karula is spying on the Inyala. There they are. From atop her termitaria. Hello, gorgeous. Don't you look wonderful today? The Queen of Djuma atop a termite mound and staring intently at Chandre, Byron and Herbie as they depart behind us. And now looking in the direction of the Inyala. Remember, if you have any questions about this incredibly elegant cat, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Oh, and look at that. She's even next to a flower. There's a poison apple. Not quite as pretty as the Queen. Oh, she's tired of kitty. Taking a break from the kids. Hello, Mary. Mary's wondering, how do we name the animals? And do their names have any meanings? Indeed, they do. Well, a Karula is a bit of a strange one because it was incorrectly spelt, but the original meaning of it's supposed to be Karula is peace. And Hosana and Shongile, her two offspring. Hosana means little prince, and Shongile means exquisitely beautiful. And how the naming process is normally at the head rangers meetings, when the cubs get to an age where you're quite sure they're going to survive. You will get together, and everyone who traverses the property they are seen the most on will get together and decide on some names, and they'll put forward and voted on. These names of, or the names of Hosana and Shongile were chosen by Taxon from Djuma. Look at that. She's got carrot. Is that carrot seed grass? It is too. There we go. Karula doing her best to spread the grass seeds through the African bush, helping the next generation of carrot seed grass to propagate. She's looking very, very comfy atop that termite area. Doesn't look like she's going to move any time soon. So fluffy. There we go, head in the grass. Time for a snooze. Nice vantage point so she can see things around from a distance. And quite often she might be just patiently waiting for those inyalas to inadvertently move a little closer. Although they are all male inyalas, so they might be a little bit big for her. Can see, even though she's napping, his ears are still working. Those tiny little movements as she directs her ears. What a wonderful way to start, or to get back to Djuma, but then spending some time with the Queen atop one of her many thrones that are scattered throughout the African bush. See the grey cloud above. Definitely book weather, and Karula is having a nice little Saturday afternoon nap. This is Nyala. What are you doing, Nyala? Well, then, I think she might be waiting for one of these Nyala to inadvertently move closer to her. But while we sit and play the patience game, let's go across to Commander Bond and his aquatic creatures. Well, it's very relaxing, just lounging next to the leopard who's lounging herself. Those Nyala have moved away, unfortunately, so she's gone back to the snooze. I'm going to try and move forward a tiny bit, see if we can see some of her face. There we go. leopards are reasonably big cats, not the biggest, of course. And Joro was wondering, what is the biggest animal a leopard will hunt? And well, it depends on the individual. A female like her, probably a kudu, a sub-adult kudu is about the biggest thing. The biggest problem with attempting something of that size is she's unable to put it in a tree, and therefore it can easily be stolen by hyenas or lions. So normally they prefer medium to small antelope. And of course, when they are hunting and looking for medium to small sized antelope to eat, they probably make 2 or 3 kills a week. And Carl was wondering, how often do they have to eat? Well, see, Carl, with most of the big cats, it depends. They don't need to eat every day, but on average over a month, they probably, or if you take it over per day ratios, they probably eat about 8 pounds of meat per day, spread out, of course, but normally 2 to 3 days between kills, but they can go as long as 6 or 7 days without any food. Now, leopards are the ultimate at adaptation when it comes to the cats, and James is wondering, what is the strangest thing I've seen a leopard eat? I think possibly a dung beetle larvae would be one of the strangest things I've ever seen a leopard eat. A tortoise, what else? Lots of tiny birds, flying ants. They are able to eat lots of different things, and that's what makes them such a successful predator. Catfish is another one I've seen them eat, which is quite a strange one, in drying pools of mud. Brian, what's the strangest thing you've seen a leopard eat?
Nothing really that strange, to be honest.
Now, as I said, leopards are the second biggest cat we get out in the African bush, and Sabrina was wondering who would win in a fight, a leopard or a lion. Hands down, it would be a lion. Not even a massive male leopard has a chance, really, if he had to tangle even with a relatively small lioness. And a big male leopard will weigh around 200 pounds, and a small lioness will weigh around just under 300 pounds, possibly 250, 260 pounds. Oh, what was that? Something got into her ear. Bok and Tom would like to know, how much does Karula weigh? So she's a female, she's quite a small female. I would say she's around 30 to 35 to 40 kilograms, so around 90 pounds, maybe a little bit less than 90 pounds. Between 90 and 100 pounds, I think, is a safe estimate for a leopard of her size. Not the biggest, but not the smallest either. Now, the amazing thing with leopard size, a lot of it just completely depends on diet and where they are. So, for example, there are leopards that live in the mountains in the Western Cape in South Africa, and a big male will be smaller than Karula. Or most males are around the same weight as Karulas, and a female will be as light as sort of 30 pounds, 35 pounds in that area, but they feed a lot of grasshoppers and tortoises and birds and eggs and things like that. They don't have access to lots of meat like our leopards do here, with all the duiker and stenbok and impala, warthog. So they've got a much better chance getting bigger in the low veld and in the bush veld regions than they do in the mountains, just purely because there's more food in these areas. Now, she is fast asleep at the moment, and often you've got to play the patience game with leopards, so you just got to wait. I'm hoping that she'll get up before the end of the safari and start moving, maybe hunting, and it all could just change in a second, because if the rain came in a little bit, or the wind picked up and the conditions became slightly more favorable, it might prompt her into setting off a bit earlier. But for now, as I said, we're going to play the patience game and sit next to the wonderful queen of Djuma. So now we continue to play the patience game next to our gorgeous grand dam of Djuma. Let's go to Byron, who's playing in the sand. look at this. Karula is still napping in the same spot. Isn't that wonderful? So she is oblivious of the bolting wild dogs that ran past mere meters from her while we were sitting here. And she's just changed position a little bit. A bit better for us to see her, but still no sign of her getting upwardly mobile at the moment. Probably just enjoying some quiet time away from the kids. Remember, if you have any questions about this incredible cat, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. And the cloud seems to be breaking up a little bit, and who knows, we might get a little bit of sunlight before the end of the safari. Now, Mary is wondering if Karula is the oldest female in the area. I wonder if the cubs are close by. Listen to those go-away birds going crazy. Mary, I'll get back to your question in a second. I'm just trying to have a look a bit beyond where she is. Go away! Hosan and Shangiri might be not too far from us. Interesting. Now, Mary was wondering, is Karula the oldest female in this area? And she's one of the oldest. I'm not sure. There could be some older leopards to the west of us, and to the east of us, and to the north of us. But as far as I know, I'm not sure how old Salah Hirsch is, but she might be of a similar age to Karula. Other than that, Tundi and Shadow are definitely younger than her, and as well as some of the new young females we've been seeing recently. Of course, Tundi and Shadow, for those who don't know, are her first litter of cubs. It's very upset go-away birds. And they're definitely not upset by Karula. Maybe we'll go have a poke down there just now, see if there's anything down there. It could be Hasana terrorizing the go-away birds. They could just be having a domestic argument. Just try to see. I'll just move the vehicle, see if we can see the go-away birds. And see, Karula has not moved an inch. Just trying to see where they are. Can you see the go-away birds, Brian? Karula doesn't seem too perturbed at whatever's perturbing them. I can't see them though. Let's just try a little bit further forward. No sign of the go-away birds now. They seem to have fluttered off. And poor Connor wasn't... wild dogs weren't playing along for Connor today and his drone. So let's see if he can come have a look at us with the Queen of Djuma. You might hear Connor coming in. It's amazing that this is a much bigger drone than we used to have, and it's much quieter than the little one. I have spotted the drone. You see it there, Brian? Oh. Drone Commander Connor Teague's coming in. And as you can see, Karula has not even reacted to the sound of the approaching drone. There we go. She might look up at it, but well, she might be getting used to. We've flown it over Karula a few times now. You can see, as I said, she might have a glance up towards the drone, but it's actually right above us, and she hasn't even lifted her head. Okay, we're going to go have a look. There we go. You can see what Connor was seeing, or what you're seeing from the air. You can see our vehicle, and there's a big termite mound just in front of us, and that's Karula. Obviously, I'm not sure exactly what you're seeing, apart from maybe, no, I don't think you can even see me or Brian under our roof, even if I... Oh, so apparently you can make out Karula on the termite mound. And now we're going to do a little 360. And there we go, you might be able to see me now. Hi guys. We're waving. Brian and I are waving at you. Karula has still not moved an inch. Her head is not raised. Oh, it's pretty lights on the bottom of the drone. There we go. This is incredible. We are able to do this. And live. It astounds me sometimes, the incredible things we are able to bring you live from the bush. And you've just flown, nearly flown a full 360 degrees around us. There we go. And you're going to come and join me on the vehicle shortly. And you can see how much the Queen cares about the eye in the sky. She did not open her eyes or even a glance up at the drone. What's the drone's name, Brian? Duncan. Is it Duncan the drone?
Yeah,
Duncan the drone. Let's hope.
Mavis the Matrice.
Or Mavis the Matrice, because it is a Matrice. Oh, the old drone was Duncan. Maybe it's Mavis. Mavis. Now, this was built by Connor. Apparently, this is Marvin. Okay. Marvin the drone. And you can hear a bit of a buzz from it. As you can see, Karula not perturbed in the slightest. Well, as you can see, the drone's probably about 40 feet, 50 feet above us. And you can see Karula not even looking at it. And you can see her. Probably quite an interesting view from the top. She's probably really tucked in between the different sort of pinnacles of this termite mound. Absolutely gorgeous. You might be able to see Brian. It's on Brian's side if Brian decides to wave. Wave, Brian. I don't know. There it is. Hi, guys. Incredible. I feel like something's watching us, Brian. So apparently with our rain roofs on, we look like one of the vehicles from the Flintstones. That's probably an apt description. It's about as easy to drive through the bush after wild dogs in a Flintstone vehicle as it is with the roof on. And keep wondering, come on, Karula. It's time to go hunting, or not. It's probably time to snooze. I think she's only going to get moving when it's a bit darker today. Hopefully before the end of the safari. Oh, there was one tiny little leg stretch. We'll continue to play the patience game with Queen Karula. While we do that, let's go see Jamie, who's found a tiny little feather. Well, just like the lines, the Queen is not moving either. She is still looking very, very comfy atop her termite mound. And it's quite weird, it's so quiet at the moment. You can hear a few birds in the distance, but it is very, very, very quiet. I'm trying to listen to how many bird species I can hear. Actually, quite a few. I think I got 7 there. You can hear in the distance faintly, you can hear a red-chested cuckoo. The chittering of a cesticula and the zitting of it. Probably a little blue waxball, or maybe possibly a petilia. Of course, we have the doves. Go-away bird and a fork-tailed drongo. And of course, there's also insects around. You can hear a cricket. Hello, Willow. Willow is 4 years old, and Willow wants to know, does the kitty like to sleep on dirt? Well, Willow, there's no one to make a bed for her, so she always sleeps on dirt, and as you can see, she does like it. She's very comfortable, snoozing. She's even got a pillow. Quickly to Jamie. Well, it has been a very relaxing afternoon for the Queen of Djuma, and she still has not moved a muscle, as we're hoping she might go off to hunt before the end of the safari. She's very close to quarantine, so those of you who watch the Djuma Dam Cam, there could be a chance she might pop up down towards the waterhole at some point this evening, so keep those eyes peeled. But what a fantastic sunset safari. It's been great to be back. Wild dogs, leopards, and Japanese had lions roaring. And of course the lovely elephant bull. And Byron with that incredible bush baby and boomslang sighting. And James being his usual wonderful self in the tent. But of course we will be doing it right and ready and bright and early tomorrow morning for the sunrise safari. Maybe Karula will catch something close to home, and we don't even have to drive far before finding the royal family. And who knows what those lions are going to get up to. And as I said, there's lions calling to the north, so maybe the Nkuhumas will come back. That would be wonderful. I feel like I haven't seen them in an age. But otherwise, we'll be looking for all the wonders of Africa. And for the last few seconds of drive, I'm sure you'd much rather look at the reclining queen, Karula. And it is wonderful to have her so close to home. And we wish her the best of luck as she goes off into the darkness later to hunt and hopefully keep those little rascals well fed. So from all of us here at Safari Live, see you bright and early tomorrow morning.